Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hafiz Kamal, and I would like to present to you this assignment 1B, Descriptive Statistical Measure and Hypothesis Testing. So basically, inflation can be referred as the rate which the price level for goods and services is rising and a money value is decreasing, and it also can lead to decreasing purchasing power. Mean represent the data typical value or center point by summarizing all the data set to produce a single number, and also known as arithmetic average. For the calculation, the mean for Malaysian inflation rate is 1.835%, and it does not represent the whole data. Median is the median number in dataset has been sorted from smallest value to the biggest value. Based on calculation, the median for Malaysian inflation rate is 2.091%. Move on to mode is the number that appears repeatedly in a dataset. As an example, the inflation rate for 2010 is 1.6229% and the inflation rate for 2016 rose drastically to 3.1745%. Variance is defined as spread dataset. If the spread is large, it means that the number in the dataset are far from each other. In my calculation, the variance for this data is 1.906% and considered small and indicates that the inflation rate is increasing or decreasing in small rate. Characteristics is used to differentiate how heavy the tails of the distribution and tails of normal distribution. Based on my calculation, the characteristics is 1.069 and it shows that the data has mathematical characteristics because the value is lower than 3. Skewness can be defined as a degree of distortion. Based on calculation, the skewness is negative 0.726 and it makes the distribution skew to the right because the value is negative. Minimum value is the smallest number or smallest value in the data set. Based on calculation, the minimum value is negative 1.139 that is happening in 2020. The negative deflation rate, or we call deflation rate, is caused by the COVID-19 pandemic that affected the whole world. The minimum value is the opposite of the maximum value. Based on calculation, the maximum value is 3.871 that is happening in 2017. And according to the economy, the high inflation rate is contributed from the increasing food price and decreasing transportation. Hypothesis testing is a method where analysts examine an assumption with reference to a population. In this calculation, in in this report, executed hypothesis testing to know which hypothesis is true based on research and calculation, and apply two types of approaches with our critical value approach and probability approach to obtain a better data and value. I'm going to use two hypotheses. For HO, I stated that the Malaysia's inflation rate is less than or equal to 2%. Meanwhile, I stated that Malaysian inflation rate is greater than 2% for H1. Secondly, we need to determine the significance level I'm going to use. The significance level are also known as a refer to probability of rejecting HO when it's true. For this report, I decided to use 5% of significance. So before we analyze the data, it's better to sketch out one tail test graph to see which hypothesis is true. Based on the data, the rejection area is located at the right tail of the graph. Due to the rejection area is located on the right, the indicative distribution is positive. As a conclusion, the HO stated that the Malaysian inflation rate is lower than equal to 2. The HO or null hypothesis is accepted and true. We can get this information by using two approaches such as critical value approach and probability approach. That's all from me. Thank you.